everybody, it's Rebecca here at Why Mermaids, and I'm here today with my December book haul. Now, again, I am trying to cut back on my book buying this year because I did buy a lot last year that I didn't read. You know, it's part of being on BookTube. It's what happens a lot to new people on BookTube, so it happened. So I am trying to cut back on buying books, so I may not have book hauls quite as often because I am trying to cut back, and so I'm hoping that I don't have book hauls that are quite as large if I have them at all. I may do library hauls in the future, but again, I am trying to read a lot of the books that I already have, so I don't know when the next book haul will be. And again, I did buy these, or get these, some of them were gifts. I did get them before I made this promise, so don't like immediately just say, well, you already said you weren't gonna buy books and then you bought all these books. Well, no, I bought these before I made that promise, and this was part of that problem. So anyway, let's get into what I got and in December, and yeah, let's go. For Christmas, this was like the year of coloring books in my family, so I got not one nor two, but 3 coloring books, and I'm really excited about that. So the first one, I got this super tiny, the Mindfulness coloring book, which you can easily take with you like along in your purse and stuff, so it's not quite as like big and bulky as some of the other ones, and so this one's really nice because I can probably take it to work, and when I'm feeling stressed out at work, I can take a break and color. I also got some nerdy coloring books like the Harry Potter coloring book and a Star Wars coloring book. So I am excited about getting into those and starting to get some coloring in. So yeah, I like to color. It's fun. I don't have as much time to color as I would like to, but it's still coloring. And this year I am trying to be more mindful about feeling relaxed and doing things for me. So I've started doing yoga again, and I've started coloring to help kind of keep that stress level down. So anyway, next book I'm going to show you I don't own. I'm borrowing it from my mom, and that's All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I have been meaning to read this for a year and haven't done it yet because this book has not come out in paperback yet because it is so popular. They're like, well, we're just gonna keep putting it in hardcover. So I haven't bought it because it's like $30, but my mom owned it and she's read it, and so I borrowed it from her. This is also my way of saying I need to read this soon because I have to give it back to her because she's gonna start bugging me for it. So this is gonna be one that I read somewhat soon. When I was at Y'all Fest, some of my BookTube friends and I did a Hunger Games where we took characters from different books and put them into a fictional Hunger Games and figured out who would win. And so one of the characters that was featured was Nimona, and I hadn't read Nimona, but then, you know, we had a whole situation, and I'll put a link so you can see what I'm talking about, so you can go watch those videos. Sorry about the sound quality, I had technical difficulties. But so when Trina just read it, she said that she wanted to rethink some of our arguments, and so she implored the rest of us to finish reading it if we had not yet. So I did get Nimona by Noelle Stevenson to read, and I am buddy reading this in February with Morgan from Little Word Weaver, and she and I are the last ones to read it out of our little group. So I'm very excited to read this and see what all the hype is all about. I did read Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Kristoff. I read this in December and I loved it so much that I did go out and buy it from Target because I had to finish it and it was due back at the library, and I didn't want to like have overdue fines and anything, and I wanted to own it anyway. I said that this was one that I loved so much and I would read it again, and I loved the style, the narrative style, and how it's kind of told that way, that I did want to own a copy, so I went ahead and bought it. And the rest of the books, I bought all of them on Black Friday, or even Thanksgiving, I think, on Book Outlet. Book Outlet was having a major sale, and so I got all of these books for like $15, which is not bad at all. So it's not like I've spent like lots and lots of money. I got 5 books for 15 bucks, so not too shabby. The first one is Worst Person Ever by Douglas Copeland. I saw this one in a bookstore, I think when I was in New York in like March, and I've been interested to read it, and since it was only like $2 or $3 on Book Outlet, I decided to go ahead and pick it up. And so I don't really know what it's about, but I know that I took a picture of it and I wanted to read it for some reason. So, plus it just looks really cool. So I thought that I would give this one a shot. If you watched my wrap-up video of 2015, you'll have seen that I talked about Wolf in White Van by Darnielle a lot. And I didn't own this one. I'd read it, I think, a library copy. and so I really wanted to get it because I did love it so much. So I bought this one as well for super cheap, and I have already read it, so doesn't hurt too bad on my TBR goal. I got Unwind by Neal Shusterman, which Trina from Between Chapters had talked about in one of her videos and had recommended it, and so I thought that I would give this one a shot. I also picked up Alias Hook by Lisa Jensen, which has made its rounds on BookTube a little bit recently, and I know that it sounds like it's Hook from Peter Pan, and I love Hook and I love Peter Pan. I have to read all Peter Pan adaptations, so I have to read this one still. And finally, the last book that I got was The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon, which again, a lot of people talked about it last year on BookTube, and I hadn't read it, and it was really cheap on Book Outlet, and so I decided that I would take the plunge and see what the big fuss was about. But a lot of people seem to really love it, and so I was really interested in reading it. That I got in December. Hopefully all the books that I'm getting for a while, I don't know, we'll see. I know February, A Gathering of Shadows and Morningstar both come out in February, so I'm getting both of those. Morningstar's been pre-ordered for months. So hopefully though I won't be buying a lot of books, and so these won't be as frequent, or I won't feel so bad, and my bookshelf will stop swelling. Anyway, let me know if you've read any of these, what you thought about them, or what your books that you bought in December were. And that is it for me today. I'll see you next time.